Hello and welcome. Today's topic is our tongue development. In my earlier video, I talked about that the introduction part of the development of the mouth. Okay, the tongue actually forms or develops from the primitive oral cavity or the mouth cavity, and it composed of three segments, or it derives from the three segments. First of all, pharyngeal arches, which is covered by endoderm, and it forms mucous membrane, which is the external cover of the tongue. Second of all, mesenchymal cells of the pharyngeal arch forms the fibromuscular stroma, and third of all, occipital myotome forms the muscles of the tongue. Now the details in step by step. From the mandibular arches, three swelling derives. One is the central, which is known as tuberculum impar, and two is lateral, which is known as lingual swellings. Second step, caudal to the tuberculum impar, from down to up, what happens? Thyroglossal duct forms, and the opening of the thyroglossal duct opens in the pharyngeal surface or the superior surface of the tongue, and it forms a depression area, which later it becomes foramen cecum. Okay, as you can see in this photo. Now at around 5th week, what happens? These three swellings, two lateral and one center, all are merges together and forms anterior 2/3 part of the tongue, and gradually one sulcus develops, which is known as alveolo-lingual sulcus, which separates the tongue from the floor of the mouth, and later this sulcus becomes the frenulum, which remains in the under surface of the tongue. This is the frenulum. Now from the third and fourth pharyngeal arch, another midline swelling appears, which is known as hypobronchial eminence. At the beginning of the 6th week, what happens? This hypobronchial eminence divides itself into two parts. One is ventral part, another is dorsal part. Ventral part forms the posterior 1/3 of the tongue, and the dorsal part forms the epiglottis. Okay, junctional point in between posterior 1/3 and the anterior 2/3 part of the tongue is represented by the sulcus terminalis. Now along with these events, what happens? The third pharyngeal arch overgrows the second pharyngeal arch and merges with the first pharyngeal arch. Now due to this, second pharyngeal arch gets buried inside, and at the same time, third and fourth occipital myotomes, few cells from the third and fourth occipital myotomes migrates towards the tongue. Now this second pharyngeal arch has mesoderm, and these myotomal cells combines together and forms extrinsic and intrinsic muscles. And I talked about entire tongue anatomy in my earlier videos, you can check those. And for your extra knowledge point, I can tell you that the parotid glands, how this parotid gland develops. This parotid gland develops from the ectoderm, and the submandibular gland and sublingual glands, this develops from the endoderm. So this is the overall short video of our development of the tongue. I hope you will understand, and see you in my next video. Then bye.